Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to explain for you the last two lessons in your required KPIs for the term 3 material. And as you can see here, any KPI is numbered 8.2. This means this is lesson 7. And the ones that are labeled 8.3, this is lesson 8. Okay, so here I combine 7 and 8. You know that some KPIs were cancelled. This is only the required KPIs. Initially, we will start by defining an alcohol and classifying it into its types, and then we will name the alcohols. Next, we will start with the ethers and classify it into its types, and we will learn how to name them. And then we will do the amine, and also we will define its types. This is all lesson 7. Now in lesson 8, you need to know 3 things: how to name ketones, how to name aldehydes, and how to name carboxylic acids. Okay, so initially we will start with alcohols. I want you to remember that an alcohol is any compounds that have an OH group. Okay, so any compound having an OH group is called alcohol. تذكروا من هاي OH, so it has OH. OH is called a hydroxyl group. Okay, it could be one C having an OH, it could be 2 C's having an OH, it could be 3 C's having an OH. The C could be in the middle of the chain, it doesn't have to be at the end. Now, how do we name these compounds? First of all, let's put the H's. This C have 1 boson, it needs 3 H's. This one have 3 H's, and here need 2 H's. This one 3, this one 2, this one 2, and this is 3, this is 1, and this is 3. Now, how do I name this compound? We know that 1 carbon is methane. I will remove the E and I will put all like this, all. Okay, so the name will be methanol. Now 2 carbons is ethane. I will not write the E and I will put all, so it will be ethanol. Now 3 carbons will be prop. Between them single bond, so this is ane. I will remove the E and I will put all, so the name is propanol. And this one is also propanol. Okay, but where is my OH? If my OH is at carbon number 2, so I will say 2-propanol. Alcohol. We have 3 different types of alcohols. We have primary, secondary, and tertiary. Once I say primary, which number comes to our minds? Number 1. Secondary means 2, and tertiary means 3. Now, what is 1 and what is 2 and what is 3? Okay, now we said alcohols are 3 types. We have the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary. Okay, in case of primary alcohol, you will see that the C bonded to the OH is bonded to 1 C only. Okay, now in case of secondary alcohol, the C bonded to the OH is bonded to 2 C's. Now, in case of tertiary alcohol, the C bonded to the OH is bonded into 3 C's. Okay, طب هلا هون you could have more C's, you could have a long chain. Okay, it doesn't matter. المهم إنه الcarbon that is bonded to the OH is bonded to 1 C. Now this C, how many H's does it need? It needs 2 H's. This C, okay, also could be 1, 2, 3, so it will be bonded to H. This C will not be bonded to any H. Okay, المهم تشوفوا C اللي عندها ال OH group. Okay, if around it you see 2 carbons, this is secondary, 3 carbons, this is tertiary, and 1 carbon, this is primary. So these are the 3 different types of alcohols. Now I want you to do this practice. Identify the alcohols and determine its type. When I say alcohol, means a compound that should contain OH group. Okay, now is this an alcohol? طبعا لا, because it has nitrogen. Now this one, remember, this one is C and H only. Okay, so this is a hydrocarbon. This is from lesson 1. What do we call it? If it has a triple bond, we call it alkyne. This is the family. Now, if I say for you the name, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons. So this is bute, and I will put wine. So the name is butane. Now this one is also hydrocarbon. The family ilo alkane. Okay, name 1, 2, 3. This is prop, and single bonds. So this is amine. Okay, now this one I will speak about it in lesson 8. This one have C double bond O, so this is not alcohol. This one have OH group, so this is alcohol. This one have OH group, so this is alcohol, and also this is alcohol. Now this one is not alcohol. This one have nitrogen, this is not alcohol. Now this one have a double bond, so this is called alkene. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, so this is called butene. Okay, so the ones that are alcohols in Q or R O T. Now identify its type. Type means primary or secondary or tertiary. Note here this C carrying the OH has one C on the right, one C on the left. So R is secondary. This C bonded to the OH is bonded to C only. الH والH مش محسوبين. Okay, we look only at the C. So this is primary. Okay, now this C have C from the left, C from the right, and C from above. So it's connected to 3 C's. So this is tertiary. Now another practice. Draw the structure of ethanol. تذكروا F means how many carbons? F means 2 carbons. An means single bond. All means there is an OH group. Okay, now how many H's do I need? 3, 2. If he says for you, what is the molecular formula? Simply count the C's. We have 2 C's. Count the H's. We have 6 H's, and we have O. Now 2-propanol. Prop is 3 carbons. An means single bond. All means OH. Where is the OH? At carbon number 2. So we have 3 carbons. And at carbon number 2, we have OH. Okay, now let's put the H's. This is 3, this is 1, this is 3. So the formula will be C3H. 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. This is 8 and O. Some people like to do it like this. They say C3H7OH. Okay, both of them are right. Now 2-butanol. But means 4 carbons. An means single bonds. All means OH at carbon number 2. Okay, so I will draw 4 carbons. Now you could consider this is number 2 or this is number 2. They are the same. Okay. Type now H is 3. This is 2. This is 1, and this is 3. So the formula is C4H. 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. This is 9, and this is 1. This is 10, and this is O. Okay, now the opposite. I give you the structure. You have to name 4 carbons. This is but. Single bonds and there is an alcohol. So I will put all. Now this one انتبهوا فيها branch وفيها alcohol. Okay. Now this is the parent chain is prop. Single bonds and alcohol all. Okay, I have a branch. Where is my branch? This is carbon number 1. This is 2. So at 2, I have methyl propanol. Yalla, classify each of the following compounds as primary, secondary, or tertiary alcohol. Pause the video and answer. Okay, now this C carrying the OH have C from here, this side, C from right, C from left. So this is secondary. This C carrying the OH have no C's around it. This is primary. And this one is have 3 C's around it. So this is tertiary. Okay, now we will start with the second group. بعد الالcohols, ethers. How do I know a structure is an ether? It should have a carbon chain, oxygen in the middle, and carbon chain. Now the carbon chain could be CH3 or CH3. Sometimes you could have 1 C from one side and 2 C's from the other side. Okay, so I will need here 3 H's, here 2 H's, here 3 H's. Okay, you could have 1, 2, 3, and then O, and then 1, 2. Okay, now let's put the H's. This is H3, this is H2, this is H2, H2, H3. Okay, first thing I want you to know that ethers have oxygen in the middle of the chain. Okay, طيب هلا في 2 types of ethers. إما symmetric ethers, okay, or asymmetric ether. Symmetric or asymmetric. Asymmetric means not symmetric. okay? How do we know if an ether is symmetric? You simply look through the O. If the right is the same like the left, this means it is symmetric. Okay, look here. Here we have one carbon, but here we have two carbons. So this is not the same like this. So I say this is asymmetric. This is symmetric. Type. Here look through the oxygen. Here we have 1, 2, 3 carbons. Here we have 2 carbons. 2 is not the same like 3, so this is asymmetric. Okay, so these are the two types of ethers. Now, if I say for you, name the ether, we cannot name the ether as 1 carbon, 2 carbons, and say eth لأنه في oxygen in the middle. So I will name this one separate and this one separate. Okay, now what is the name of CH3? CH3 is methyl. And this CH3 is also methyl, and then I will say ether. I can combine these two to say dimethyl ether. Okay, now how do we name this one? This one is also methyl. This one is 2 carbons, so this is ethyl, and then I say ether. Okay, now this one is propyl, and this one 2 carbons is ethyl, and then I say ether. Okay, so remember, ethers have oxygen in the middle of the chain. Okay, طيب هاي طبعا if we look through the oxygen, here we have benzene, here we have benzene, so this is symmetrical. If we look through the oxygen, this is methyl, this is benzene, so this is asymmetrical. طيب I want you to name this compound. يلا pause the video and name it. طبعا 2 carbons here, this is ethyl, and 2 carbons here, this is also ethyl, and then oxygen in the middle, we say ether. Or we can say diethyl ether. Okay, هلا هون we have this one is methyl, this one is propyl, and then I say ether. Okay, now amines have nitrogen. Okay, now let's revise. Alcohols, what do they have? Alcohols have OH group. Okay, ethers, they have oxygen. Now amine, what do amines have? They have nitrogen. ذكروا فيهم حرف الأن يعني they contain nitrogen. Okay, similar to the alcohols, amines are 3 types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Okay, if the nitrogen is connected to 1 carbon, this is primary. If the nitrogen is connected to 2 carbons, this is secondary. If the nitrogen is connected to 3 carbons, this is tertiary. Okay, طيب. Now we said primary amine, the nitrogen is connected to 1 carbon. In secondary, the nitrogen is connected to 2 carbons. In tertiary, it is connected to 3 carbons. Okay, now this is an amine. This nitrogen is connected to 1 carbon, so this is called primary. Now this nitrogen is also connected to 1 carbon, so this is called also primary. Now how do we name this compound? Okay, sorry. We have 2 carbons, so I will say ethyl, and then this nitrogen is amine. Okay, sometimes you can say that like this, ethane, and then you remove the E and you say amine. Okay, both are correct. Now this one is propyl amine, and the nitrogen is at carbon number 2, so I will say 2-propyl amine. يلا okay, now this is revision for the previous lessons. Remember, اللي فيها benzene ring مع halogen, what do I call it? High aromatic plus group 17 اللي هن halogens. I call it aryl halide. ممكن يجيكم هذا السؤال بالامتحان. What is this compound called? This is called aryl halide. Okay, now what is the name? هاي البارent, هاي اسمها benzene. Okay, I have branches. Where are my branches? At 1, I have chloro. And at 3, I have fluoro. And this is benzene. Okay, now this compound is alkane plus halogen. What do I call it? Alkane plus halogen. ذكروا إنه الهالوجينز هن group 17. Alk, hal. alkyl halide. Okay, now this one is طبعا فيها oxygen بالنص. This is ether. This is methyl and this is ethyl. So they are not the same. I call it asymmetrical ether. Now this one طبعا فيها OH. This is an alcohol. Now the C carrying the OH is connected to C from the right and C from the left. So this alcohol is secondary. Now this one have nitrogen. So this is called amine. Now the nitrogen is connected to one C only, so this is a primary amine. Okay, what is the name? We have 3 carbons, so I say propyl amine. Okay, يلا. The functional group present in amine, طبعا amine تذكروا فيه nitrogen, so the functional group is an H2. Which of the following is primary? Primary amine يعني nitrogen is connected to one C only. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Which one represents a primary alcohol? Alcohol لازم يكون فيه OH وprimary يعني C carrying the OH is connected to one C. Okay, now let's see here. C carrying the OH have 2 C's. C carrying the OH have 1 C, so this is correct. C carrying the OH is connected to 3 C, so this is tertiary. This is secondary and this is primary. Okay, so the answer is Q only. Which of the following have the highest boiling point? تتذكروا إنه نحن حكينا إنه as we go down the group in the periodic table, what happens to the boiling point? هدول الهالوجنز. مين عنده أكثر electrons? iodine. So أي compound فيها I will have the highest boiling point. لأنه عندها more electrons. Okay, والF بيكون عندها least boiling point. So as you can see here, this compound have F, Br, I, Cl. اللي فيها ال I بيكون عندها ال highest boiling point. Okay, now we will start with lesson 8. In lesson 8, I want you to know what are ketones. تذكروا ketones فيهم oxygen. وين موجود الأكسجين بالنص؟ بدي إياكم تحطوا 2 lines under the oxygen. Okay, what does it mean? عندنا double bond O in the middle of the chain. عندنا C double bond O بنص الكربون chain. C double bond O بنص الchain. C double bond O بنص الchain. Okay, remember O in the middle of the chain. Okay, ethers have oxygen like this. It's not double bond O. Alcohols have OH. Amine have nitrogen. Okay, ketone have oxygen, double bond oxygen بنص الchain. Okay, طيب. Now this compound is a ketone, this compound is a ketone, and this one is also a ketone. All I want you to know about ketones is that, how do we name them? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is bute. Single bonds, this is ane. I will remove the E and I will put on. Butanone. Okay, now this one. 1, 2, 3. Prop. Single bonds is ane. I will remove the E and I will put O-N-E. So it will be propanone. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is pentane. I will remove the E and I will put on, so it will be pentanone. Okay, only you need to know about ketones is how do we name them. Now aldehydes. Aldehydes بيشبهوا الكيتونز in that they have C double bond O. اوكي بس هون السي دبل بوند او وين ال تذكروا ال يعني على الطرف. اوكي ال يعني على الطرف. بالكيتون الدبل بوند او بنص التشين يعني عندنا من الرايت كربون ومن الليفت كربون. اوكي هون سي من الليفت كربون ومن الرايت كربون. بالالديهايد we also have C double bond O بس على الطرف يعني اوكي at the end of the chain. Now, how do we name this compound? We say 2 carbons means ethane. Okay, I will remove the E and I will put al. It will be ethanol. Now, this one 1 carbon, it will be methanol. Okay, now before we move on, I will insert a page and I want you to draw the following structures. If I say for you propane, اوكي بروبين بروبانول propanol and propanon. اوكي بدي اياكم تميزوا بيناتهم. اوكي او بروبايل ايثر او بروبايل امين. اوكي خلينا نشوف شو الفرق بين كل structure and the other one. All of them start with prop. تذكروا انه prop means 3 carbon atoms. اوكي amine means single bonds. هلا propene prop 3 carbons وene means one of the bonds is double. هلا propyne also 3 carbons wine means triple bond. هلا propanol نول لازم تذكركم بالكحول. الالكحول شو فيه؟ فيه OH 1 2 3 and there is OH. اوكي propanol propanol بتذكرنا بالديهايد. اوكي الديهايد. اوكي هلا بالالديهايد عندنا على الطرف عندنا سي دبل بوند او. اوكي بعدين عندنا سي. طيب هلا عندنا البروبانون بتذكرنا كيتون. الكيتون عندنا دبل بوند او وين بنص التشين so I will put 3 carbons وبالنص دبل بوند او. هلا بروبايل ايثر propyl ether 1 2 3 or 1 2 3. You can say dipropyl ether أو propyl ether. اوكي طيب هلا الامين propylamine 1 2 3 ونيتروجين NH2. اوكي طيب هلا خلينا نكمل الاتشز. هون عندنا 3 وهون عندنا 2 وهون عندنا 3. هون عندنا 3 1 2 3 nothing 1 3 2 2 3 2 1 3 2 2 3 2 2 and then 2 2 3 and this one is 3 nothing 3. اوكي طيب انتبهوا انه دائما البريفكس حيعطيني number of carbon atoms والsuffix that is the end of the word حيعطيني which functional group I have. Okay now the last thing you need to know is the carboxylic acids. اوكي الكربوكسيليك acids فيه 2 oxygens. الاكسجين كتير مهم فيه لدرجة انه فيه 2 oxygens C double bond O مع OH. تذكروا C double bond O موجودة بالكيتون أو بالالديهايد OH موجودة بالالكحول. بالكربوكسيليك أسيد هن التنتين موجودين. Okay so you have 2 carbons 2 oxygens sorry and here you have also 2 oxygens. Now first of all how do we name it? We have 2 carbons so I will say ethane. I will remove the E and I will say ic acid. Okay ethanoic acid. This one 1 2 3 4 so this is butane. I will remove the E and I will put oic acid. Okay now when I do the formula I have 2 C's. I have 1 2 3 4 H's and I have 2 oxygens. Okay here I have C4H 1 plus 2 3 5 8 and then O2. Okay so this is the last thing you need to know. I want you to do this practice before we finish the lesson. Now I want you to look at these structures and do the family, functional group, molecular formula and name. When I say family means I want you to put alcohol, amine, alkane, ether. Okay طيب let's look at the first one. The first one have OH. So what is the family? This one have C double bond O in the middle of the chain. This one have O and OH. This one have nitrogen. This one have O بالنص. Okay لاحظوا هاي وهاي شو الفرق بينهم؟ هون الأكسجين is in the middle of the chain without double bond. هون C double bond O. Okay يلا نبدأ بالأولى اللي فيها OH we said it is called alcohol. اوكي اللي فيها C double bond O it is called ketone. تذكروا قلت لكم حطوا خطين تحت ال O double bond O بالنص. اوكي S 2 oxygens so this is carboxyl. acid. اللي فيها نيتروجين we call it amine. okay. اللي فيها أكسجين بالنص we call it ether. Now let's do the functional group. Functional group اللي أنا عملت لكم عليهم highlight. يعني هون عندنا OH، هون عندنا C double bond O، هون C double bond O and OH، هون NH2 وهون O. Formula is the easiest. Count. We have C4, H, 4 plus 4 plus 2, this is 10, and this is O. This one is C3, H6O. This one is C2, H4, O2. This is C2H 7N, and the last one is C4H 10O. Okay, now how do we name it? يلا 1 2 3 4. So this is called butane. هحط بالآخر all لأنها alcohol. I will put all. This one 3 carbons, so I will say propane. I will remove the E and I will put on propanone. Okay, now S, 2 carbons is ethane. And then I will put ic, acid. Okay, acid. Now, this one is 2 carbons, so this is ethane. I will remove the E and I will put amine. Now this one we said we cannot name 1 2 3 4 لأنه في oxygen بالنص. I will name this one alone, this one alone. So this is ethyl, ethyl, or I can say diethyl ether. اوكي طب اذا قالوا لكم من هدول مين الاثنين ايزومرز لازم يكون عندهم the same molecular formula. بيكون هاي وهاي. These two are called isomers because they have the same molecular formula but different structures. This is the last thing you need to know in this term 3. I hope my videos were beneficial and I will see you in more revision later on.